Hi there guys, how's it going? So today's video is going to be something super cool on how we can scrape some URLs, open those up and scrape information from those profile links, okay? So in this case, we are going to be scraping my connections from LinkedIn. I just need one Google Sheet. It has profile name, URL, and email. The names don't matter, but we do need to have headers in these Google Sheets, okay? So we are going to add a new automation, capture these steps, wait for the countdown to finish. And I am using two screens. That's why sometimes it pops up in a different screen, but today it did not. So let's go ahead and click on this LinkedIn icon because we already have it handy here. I am going to sign in with my Google account. So give me 1 second, folks. So as you can see, there is some steps to follow when we log in with Google. So I am going to send myself a code, but this is just one time. We are not gonna do this process over again. Just when we send this information once, it will be stored in the browser and then you're going to be fine to go for the next times, okay? So as you can see here, I am in my LinkedIn profile and I want to scrape my network's email addresses. So I'm going to click on this icon, but we are going to change that in a bit, okay? Because we are going to click on my connections as well. I always prefer to use, my apologies, it is capturing the click. See, that is why we are going to use this URL instead of capturing clicks. So these pages have a lot of divs, as you could see, a lot of elements to choose from. But in order to make this process easier, we are just going to go straight for a link and I'll show you how we can change that in a bit, okay? So we are going to scrape list because we want the URLs of each of my connections, okay? So we're not going to press text. We're going to press text because we have as a header a profile name. We are going to scrape the URL because we also want to open these profile links. And let's say I already opened one, okay? I want the contact information, so I'm going to click the contact information. And I am also going to click just the URL. So in this case, I'm not going to scrape list. I am going to scrape text, okay? Because that is the email address. And that is all for this automation for it to work, okay? So we are going to stop this recording. I'm going to send it to my LinkedIn info URL. So we do need to share the link and we need to share it with automations@taskmagic.com. Yep. So then once we have it at automations@taskmagic.com and we share our link here, we should see our header. In this case, I choose my sheet 1 and the headers are profile names, URL, and the email address. As you can see, each step is specified over here on where this information is going to be stored. And if everything looks good, we can export the sheet. Okay, so as I said, the CAPTCHA is a one-step thing. You can allow errors on all of these steps, but just because I know for a fact that they're not going to ask for it again, I am going to delete these steps. And remember that I said that we're not going to use my networks. You see, we have 2 steps here, actually 3 because sometimes it doesn't register correctly. I can erase these because I'm going to enter my URL of my connections directly. It is easier in any sense to do what I'm doing right now. Always try to go for the URL. Do not try to go for the icons, just because, as I said, all of these pages have a lot of variables to consider once they're constructing their website. So instead of using the icons that may vary time to time, let's use a URL, okay? So I can erase all of the clicks I did just to get to the scrape many. You see how clean it is now? Just by a couple of steps, we can do this automation, okay? So remember, the scrape many was the profile name. Scrape many links is the ones that have the actual links that we're going to open. So the link that I actually opened was Juan Carlos. I am going to change this Juan Carlos for it to be a URL. I am going to add a step and I'm going to add URL. And in this case, it is going to be step 4. Why? Because step 4, we scraped many links. And once we scrape many links, those links can be referred to in a further step here, let's say step 5, and we can open those links that we scraped, okay? So we can erase Juan Carlos because we no longer want to click on his profile. We want to click on all of the URLs we scraped, and we click on the information and we scrape the email address. Everything looks fine. Now the last step is going to be setting up a trigger. We're going to set set up a loop through data trigger, and we are going to skip the Google Sheet because we do not want to set up anything more for the moment. We just want to loop through this automation, let's say, I would say 10 times, but to make this video shorter, I am just going to put 5 just so you could see. I am not going to set a schedule. And once we finish setting up our loop, we are going to see the slider over here, okay? So as you can see, we click one, which is the icon that we clicked on the homepage of TaskMagic. Then we select the URL. We scrape many names as well URLs. We put those URLs in each step 5, and we are going to be looping through these steps only, okay? So I'm going to set my loop from step 5 all the way to step 7. And yeah, everything looks fine. Everything looks good. And let's play steps. In a minute, well, this actually will take a while for it to collect the data, just because of the fact that it's a lot of information that we are going to scrape, okay? So I'll see you in a bit, and let's see it work its magic. So here I saw it open up a new tab, so I'll just close it out, and it doesn't interfere with the automation, okay? You could just leave it if you want. And as you could see here, it says complete, and we have the 5 loops that we set in our trigger. So if you want to scrape all of the links that you scraped in your Go, you could go ahead and write down 23 loops if that's what you wanted. In this case, we just did 5 because of the video. I didn't want it to take that long. But yeah, that's all we actually need for this process to work. As you can see, it's very few steps, 7 steps and just 1 loop. So if you want to see any other videos, please let us know in the comment section below, or go to our how-to guides in our roadmap, and we'll be making those videos, okay? Thank you.